Tonight, the European Union cancels Europe Day reception in Israel after Ben-Gvir was chosen to represent the Israeli government. The move indicates dwindling diplomatic relations between EU and Israel. And raging fires in Alberta, covering an area of more than 300,000 acres as the province evacuates thousands of residents. We cover stories about Syria's conditional return to the Arab League, a Muslim charity funding an Indigenous ward for youth, and a Canadian pedestrian bridge is the longest in the world. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I am Catherine Bullock. The European Union has cancelled its Europe Day diplomatic reception today in Israel amid rising tensions between the bloc and Israel's government's policies in the West Bank. The lead spokesperson of the EU diplomatic service has put out a statement saying that the bloc does not want to offer a platform to someone whose views contradict the values the European Union stands for. The move came after the Israeli government chose National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, leader of the far-right Jewish party, to represent the Israeli cabinet at the Europe Day reception. Ben-Gvir is known as a hardline Jewish settlement activist. He has repeatedly joined Israeli settlers in storming the Al-Aqsa Mosque complex in occupied East Jerusalem. Ben-Gvir slammed the cancellation of the Europe Day. His office issued a statement saying that Ben-Gvir thinks it is a shame the European Union, which claims to represent the values of democracy and multiculturalism, is shutting mouths. Europe Day is held on May 9th. It celebrates peace and unity in Europe. It marks the famous Schuman Declaration that launched European integration. And in related news, diplomatic relations between the EU and Israel have grown tense over EU criticism of the Israeli government's West Bank policies. The bloc yesterday condemned the demolition of an EU-funded school in the West Bank that affects the education of over 80 Palestinian children. Last month, the Israeli media also reported that the EU foreign policy chief could not arrange an official visit to the country due to diplomatic tensions. Under international law, the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, is occupied territory. This makes all demolitions and Jewish settlements there illegal. A province-wide state of emergency has been declared in Alberta, where more than 24,000 residents have been evacuated due to raging wildfires. Premier Danielle Smith calls it an unprecedented crisis, as 103 fires are burning across more than 300,000 acres. Since early Friday, there have been 45 new wildfires. The Premier says the province is ready to spend whatever it takes. The province has set aside $1.5 billion for the emergency. Smith says the federal government is on alert to send aid when and if requested. More residents may be evacuated as higher than normal temperatures and dry and windy conditions continue to feed the fires. Please stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break. The Arab League has decided to reinstate Syria's membership after 12 years of suspension. At a press conference in Cairo over the weekend, the Egyptian foreign minister said Arab League foreign ministers agreed to allow Syrian government delegations to participate again in League meetings. Arab foreign ministers made the decision after a meeting in the Egyptian capital, and it was confirmed by the Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abu Ghait. Speaking at the same press conference, He said Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Iraq have formed a follow-up committee to look at how to reach a settlement to the Syrian crisis. According to the Saudi Al-Majalla magazine, Syria's return to the Arab League is conditional on the Syrian regime taking practical steps towards resolving the Syrian crisis. The decision to reinstate Syria's membership comes ahead of the annual Arab League summit to be held in Saudi Arabia on May 19th. Syria was suspended from the League in 2011 over the regime's brutal crackdown on pro-democracy protests, which led to a civil war. In the past few months, the Syrian regime has been exchanging official visits and contacts with several Arab countries. The Olive Tree Foundation, a Muslim Canadian charitable foundation, is funding an annual award that goes to support Indigenous youth. The Spirit Bear Award is an annual award granted by the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society of Canada. It was created 4 years ago. It is given to young Indigenous people who demonstrate their commitment to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to action. The award is named Spirit Bear, which is a symbol of reconciliation and equity for kids in Indigenous culture. The Olive Tree Foundation says the foundation wants to support Indigenous youth. The foundation is, quote, committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding with Indigenous peoples. Dr. Cindy Blackstock, the executive director of the First Nations organization, says they are grateful to the foundation for its generous annual funding. This year, 3 awards of $500 each will be handed out. A bridge in Ontario holds the Guinness World Record for the longest enclosed pedestrian crossing. The pedestrian bridge is located 45 minutes east of Toronto in the city of Pickering, Ontario. It was completed 5 years ago. The 250-metre bridge stretches across 14 lanes of Highway 401, 6 active railway tracks, and a 2-lane local road. It connects a bus station on the bridge's south side to the region's largest shopping mall, a local college, and a regional bus service on the north side. Additionally, it features nearly 300 LED lights that illuminate it at night. Thank you for watching. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or go to our website muslimnetworktv to make a donation so that we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.